What's going on, everybody? Fallen from OTB here. It has been about a week since my last video here, but I'm going to continue to bring the content for everyone as often as I possibly physically can. We just got out of a war here that the boys did incredible on. We aced on them pretty hard. We brought the 3 stars to this war, and granted, we were definitely favored, I would say. But they did have a lot of war wins, proof of experience. I mean, all that kind of stuff ties into the fact here too. But we just kind of we had them out leveled just a little bit. So we're gonna go into the cause and effect portion of things here, and we're gonna find out why some of these tougher bases were 3-starred and kind of what led to the success of them. And with this, hopefully, it will bring a little understanding to everything. And so we got maybe about 4 or 5-ish bases here for everybody. Here we go. We do have a maxed out TH9 on the aspect of defenses. And, got a little ways to go there on the walls and things like that. But it's not going to matter when you're bringing the hogs. Not the least little bit. So, easy CC pull. That's going to be step 1. You're going to find a way to do that using the least troops possible, and I had the choice of either pulling CC or just kind of raging over the kill squad just to save a little bit of time and everything like that. I didn't want to, compromise something that sometimes is up in the air, and that is pulling the CC. You need to make sure that you do get it down whenever you possibly can pull it. So here we go, just an easy entrance here up top. I knew I'd be able to get to the queen here still too. Send that second max golem in here last, right before I decide to make everything move in. And as they bust through the wall, this is what I like here, the jump, which was going to protect against a potential double bomb in that little corridor there with the expo and the cannon. The rage does go up to get all the damage going down. Queen is going to tempt around the outside and then kind of finally work her way back in as some late wizards come in. This kill squad has made it so far already, and I notice at this point right now, since they're jumping in, they're overflowing into the left side of this base. They've already taken out a quarter of the base right here before the hogs come in. So now I'm going to want to send the hogs in when things are tanking, because I wanted to go a little lighter on the giants. So I thinned out a little bit on the left, but I did get that heal up just in time. So now we've got half the base is cleared out of the defenses. A tiny bit of the kill squad still up, and the queen most importantly. As the surgical hogs are coming in, I knew that was going to be a bomb right there, but I didn't want to use heal just quite yet until now. Now as soon as that wizard tower was picking everything up. And then lastly, this right side right here. Everything is tanking. There aren't too many hogs alive, but that's kind of part of the plan. You plan to thin out a little bit. As long as you have that last heal there doing as much work as possible, there are enough hogs to get the job done right here. And, everything just was spoken for in its own little compartments and whatnot. There's maybe like 6 hogs or so left to do part of the cleanup. And, we've got the... oh, geez, I gotta move this here. Okay. We've got the, the cleanup troops that were necessary, like the goblins. There were a couple wizards involved. That's kind of crucial as well when you know the defenses are spoken for. You're not out of the water yet. You've got to continue with the plan. So we're going to switch it up on some attacks that we don't do too often. La Lune, I'd love to see us use more if it calls for it. So this is definitely one of those kind of bases, because within a queen's range, you're going to be able to take down 2 of those air defenses or come pretty damn close at very least. So he is going to do the 2 golems. That's the shatter. And, a pretty easy, straightforward funnel there, leading right into everything. That queen is going to go down very easily. So, there's a lot of business going on here that Ricky had to plan for, and that's the fact that CC is out of control. That it needs to be dealt with. It needs to go down and die as quickly as possible, because the queen still does have a little bit of work to do, as she's finally going to be doing the maximum damage there, and she gets stuck a little bit here on the elixir. but she's going to have just enough time to take this down. And watch how right here, now we know it's time to send in the boys. Watch how he lets the lava sweep across from the right to the left, and then he's using that to tank for time, so he can then send in the loons, the targeted loons here behind. So as literally everything is tanked, all the air traps have been spoken for. He's got just a pro rage going down right there over everything that matters, and slowly he's filtering his way in. As soon as they finish up with this air D, here goes the lavas once again over to that outside area there, as he's just going to keep the rage filtering through. Everything's still tanking. Major cluster of those loons have come together, but you cannot always plan around that. So that's just going to happen. And he's got every single thing spoken for. Anything that is going to hurt those balloons, he's done the trick to it. And super cleanup mode right here. Even a couple wizards worked their way around the outside there. But he got, a good portion of the lavas to bust, which is what you need for cleanup. It's a pretty technical attack, and you have to take it in slower steps to simply keep up with yourself, to keep up with what you're doing. We do have another one. We've got another one right here. This is kind of one of those bases, just looking at it right now, where it's super wide open, but you do see those air Ds towards the outside. You see a little bit of a cluster here. Obviously, you're going to be coming in from this spot right here, and you're going to do it with just one golem. That's all you need to get things tanking just long enough. A couple of these defenses are not as completely upgraded, so he's going to take advantage of that. And this is probably our best La Loon guy right here on the team, and he definitely knows what he's going about here. And so he's doubling up those wizards there to make sure and do that damage, so that storage there goes down. Oh boy, am I getting called? Nope, I'm just getting the annoying. Wow, two at once. He's got the P.E.K.K.A. The P.E.K.K.A. is right now going right to the queen. Look at this, almost dead in just one hit, and then boom. This P.E.K.K.A. is acting as a golem, except it's doing the damage to those heavy hit point structures that a golem can't even come close to doing, obviously. And in a lot of times, too, even a couple wizards aren't going to be able to do the trick for that. You're going to need more. So here, he's not wasting time. He sent in the lavas to each section, and they're tanking everything. Everything is spoken for. He's not losing any balloons. Look how far this queen gets here in the middle. She's doing just the ultimate damage here, and she's going to make sure and secure that 2-star victory right there. And as everything else is going, once again, everything has been spoken for. Very, very few loons are tanking, and the ones that are, they have a plan to get down the defensive structures. So the success of this attack is just having everything accounted for, and that's part of the planning process too. Is you're putting your plan together, and if you don't see it going, you've got to look down and take a peek at the pathing and understand what is happening in the attack. You can't just say, okay, well, I'm just going to send some loons at it, see what happens here. And no, he had a plan for every loon that he dropped, and that's what's expected of of a consistent 3-star attack. It should never be based on luck. So super, super nice job right here. Those final structures go down. There were a lot of pups to be spoken for. Super nice job there by Sagres, getting the trick done. Let's see what else we have. Number 7. Okay, good old Caps here. He gave it a Golo Wee Wee, and just looking at this base already, you see all these defenses right here. Not even maxed. We're still not dealing with the most solid of defenses. These are TH8 defenses. With some expos and that queen, so it's not it can be easy to screw up though on a base like this, because things can tend to wander around a little bit, path a little bit differently. So he's giving the best odds by putting his golems there out in front. Once again, in a lot of these style of attacks, they're like fodder. They really are just the tanks, so the outside can be cleaned. And look at that earthquake spell right there. heading everything up to the core. And probably my favorite part is how the witches go down right here. Everything is punching forward. Everything is being, sent straight ahead as that massive rage goes down right there. Usually the kind of the weaknesses are, well, now there's a lot of loons up, which is scary because there isn't much other damage going out onto those loons. So they have some time to work their way around. But right here, everything is punched core. Take a look around the outside. The air Ds are going down in like 2 seconds. Then you've got all of these ring of defenses around the outside. What are you going to do with them? You're going to have to bring loons. That is the answer to an attack like this. That's why you punch core. That's why you do everything the way you do it. So as soon as those air Ds go down, he's not going to waste any time because this is precious time right now. As they just envelop the outside of this base right now. I've got to say, that's a super nice call. Punching core with the witches. Notice how those witches didn't last very long in the core. That's something you got to address as well. And he even saved a wizard there for cleanup, which is never, not even single one time is that a bad idea. So he's got everything that he needs right here. All of his cleanup troops are there, and those balloons are what saved it. That is a base you use those back-end balloons on. Whether or not you choose to punch core and hit them from each outside ring, or you're seeing the defenses or the air Ds that are, just gettable, and you have a plan to get them and then deal with them, right after that. We're going to jump up to Ashton's Go-Ho right here. Definitely one of those kinds of bases where you're assuming Teslas are in middle. You're also assuming that there isn't any double bombs, but you're not quite sure what's going to happen there. So, you got to be prepared. You got to bring a plan for it. Wow, I just keep moving this thing over. Let's try it in this corner. Let's see how that goes. So here we go. Ashton's attack right here. Expos are sent to ground, so set to ground. So it needs to be addressed like that. Super easy CC pull right here. Everything's straightforward. We know the angle he's going to be hitting. He kind of hits that archer at an angle right there to set the pathing of the clan castle. And I don't know, Drum. Should we call this an alien invader base? It kind of looks like it. I had to. So anyways, we got 2 loons and a drag up in there. And, the plan is set forward right here as the queen gets behind those witches. Regular CC killing device. And finally those loons are going to drop here in a couple seconds. And here comes the golems. He did send a giant up there to tank. Notice how the pathing could be crazy if he didn't send that giant in to tank. He did that job really correctly, so no matter what, that's going to propel that queen forwards. And look at that jump right there. That's covering, 5 different compartments and the core, all at the same time. He's not even going super heavy on the kill squad, but he has those witches getting in there, grinding their way through, working down those defenses slowly. What I don't like is still how the queen went to the outside right here. I guess it'll happen, but he really set a good path as those hogs are coming in all together right there. Sorry, I didn't really call that out in the moment. But once you see that kill squad gets in there and does that damage, look how much damage the kill squad has done on the right. It's literally taken down so much the defenses as he does trip the bombs right there, which is just great because he still has golems tanking in the core. He's got those hogs in there in very much health right now. And there's no way around being able to deal with this. That's what you do. You have those defensive structures all on top of each other. That's all the kind of things that you want to be able to do correctly. He did have the double bombs in the core, which were tripped actually kind of at different times. So, it doesn't even matter when you've got those hogs in there doing the work. Let's see. So we've got, was that 9? Yep. So we got one more attack here for everybody. And let's see here. We're going to go to 17, I believe. Blackbeard's attack. I apologize for not doing so many TH8s. I don't know. I'm really trying to focus too on everyone. So I apologize for making the TH8s. Not giving them as much content as possible. Hopefully that isn't too bad of a thing. So regular CC pull right there. Once again, we've got the dragon and the loon up in that. And enough of a kill squad right here. Notice how we had the witches to distract the whole time. And now he's got the wizards in there doing the pummeling. The wizards they're not tanking too hard right there. And then a 2-finger drop, because at this point, when you see these hogs move forward like this, you instantly see anyone who knows what they're doing in an attack like this. They're seeing each ring around the left and the right side. They're seeing each set of hogs going up that ring and just taking that pathing very, very straightforward. And it doesn't always end up like that, but you've got to have a plan for when it does. So he did pre-heal over that bomb right there. Smart decision. Couple traps going on. They do work their way to the middle. He has 1 heal left, which obviously we know it's got to go. It's got to go up here around that splash damage. That's absolutely perfect. That's what you want to do on an attack like this. All those hogs are still alive. Everything is still quite healthy, as the cleanup process is all underway right now. And if there's any advice that I have to anyone, it's, you're seeing people with these poison spells left over at the end. Sometimes you don't need to use them. Sometimes you get caught up in the heat of the moment and you forget to use them maybe when you should. Needless to say, though, use those poison spells, because and use them on the skellies if you think that that's going to be an issue to address. The skelly traps that pop up are just huge. You need to be able to stop them, and that's going about the right way. There is using that poison spell, and if you're not going to use a poison spell, bring a haste or bring something else with you that's going to do a good job for you. So anyways, you guys, this was our second episode of this. We're trying to understand some bases a little bit better and how these attacks are working.